Danger! News alert! Urgently brought to you by Royalty Buzz. Don't be fooled by Meghan Markle. The basis of my video is the 19 October Variety interview of Meghan by Matt Donnelly. It is important that I bring this to you because the article is all over the internet, all over YouTube, and it is part of Meghan's charm offensive. In a very long article, we see a softer Meghan talking about the Queen's passing, her family, the charity work for their foundation, Archwell, and in a separate live streaming segment, she shared about herself. We learned that she is very good with time Scrabble. She loves cooking, blah, 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 blah. What struck me is that you have a very smiling, warm, personable Meghan, not the one that we see in the card interview full of sarcasm, sending a lot of innuendos, shading the Queen and the royal family. For me, even if she doesn't talk about the Queen specifically, every time she attacks the royal family, she attacks the late Queen, because the monarch is the head of the royal family. So when you attack the royal family, you're attacking the monarch. Simple. You cannot separate the two of them. And she even called the Queen the most shining example of female leadership in the new Variety interview. I want to bring up this part because I feel that this is very close to my heart, and I'm sure to many of you too. The world has been mourning the loss of Queen Elizabeth. How has this time been? This was the question posed to her. There's been such an outpouring of love and support. I'm really grateful that I was able to be with my husband to support him, especially during that time. What's so beautiful is to look at the legacy that his grandmother was able to leave on so many fronts. Certainly in terms of female leadership, she's the most shining example of what that looks like. I feel deep gratitude to have been able to spend time with her and get to know her. It's been a complicated time. But my husband, ever the optimist, said now she's reunited with her husband. Has anything come up for you in your relationship with the Queen since her passing? I have reflected on the first official engagement that I had with her, how special that I felt. I feel fortunate and I continue to be proud to have had a nice warmth with the matriarch of the family. BS! BS! How dare she say all this? Who is she to say this? When I read this, a song called Crazy by Now Barclay, and the song goes something like, come on now, who do you think you are? Ha ha ha, bless your soul. You really think you're in control? Well, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Anyway, don't be taken in by the backpedaling, which I mentioned. Okay, these two diabolical pair may have some missing screws in their heads, but be very wary of them. They are right now on a charm offensive designed to induce the royal family and the king to let their guard down. And the Sussex Squad is on an overdrive, which I will cover in the last part of my video. Meghan Markle has no relationship with the late Queen. She should just shut her trap. But then, because she's the Duchess of Sussex, so she feels she can talk about it. But once she and Harry are stripped of their titles, their voices will be like flies in the malls. So, don't be fooled by Meghan Markle. You will notice that for all the pictures, and there were many of them for this interview, the photographer uses soft focus lens filter, so the effects you will notice are very soft, dreamy-like. Meghan is so different here compared to how she looked in the photograph in the card interview. Here she looks so approachable, so kind, so gentle, even with a sense of being very maternal. Okay, so you can see they are trying really, really very hard to change their image. I'm referring to Harry and Meghan. Although Harry does not appear in this interview, as usual, he's always left out. But the fact remains that he's also part of the whole setup, because in his podcast, the dogs they have, the children, and that they now have 5 children in the house running all over. Why 5? Because 2 are their biological kids, to put across a new image of themselves. So remember, be vigilant, Don't be fooled by Meghan Markle's latest charm offensive. Look at more pictures of her here. I think because I've taken out some of the words that were plastered over the photographs, you can see more of it. You can see how sweet she looks actually. I mean, she's pretty. She looks sweet as well. Sweet, pretty, kind, compassionate, caring, with a touch of the maternal. But you know what is the real character lurking behind? It is that of a cobra. Actually, this cobra appeared in the earlier video slide, but it's hidden. It's meant to be hidden, you see. I hope some of you noticed it because we really need to be very, very sharp to read the agenda to understand what they are up to. In the next slide, I'm going to talk about the agenda. Primarily, the agenda is to shore up Meghan's popularity. She knows that she and Harry's popularity have plummeted. But because she has always been the one fronting the attack on the royal family and the queen, so she has taken it upon herself to address the issue. And what is the issue? Their sinking popularity. In fact, they are no longer popular. So they need to fix it. Because Meghan realizes that they can no longer afford to be unpopular. Now, do not think for a moment that this horror Harry and Meghan liar have reformed, that the late Queen's passing has injected some moral sense in them. Nothing can be further than the truth. Meghan's agenda is to ensure that all her current and future business deals will not be affected, because she knows that if they continue down the warpath with the royal family and the new king, corporations will give them a wide berth. Nobody will want to do business with them. So it is all about money. It's nothing to do with rapprochement with the royal family. There are a few things in their considerations besides money, although for them it's always about the money. Money, money, money. Money, money is a rich man's world. Aha, aha. Think of all the things I can do if I have a little money in the rich man's world. So what is the second goal on the agenda? The second one is, of course, they're not giving up on pursuing royal titles for their two children. And to that end, they must at least appear to take a softer stance towards the royal family. And then the third item is they are also afraid that King Charles III may just decide to strip them of their royal titles if they continue to openly use the titles as a platform to attack them, which is so ironic, right? The late queen gave them these titles and then they use the titles to attack the royal family. I don't know what to make out of it. I mean, if I were the king, I would have stripped them of the titles, because once you strip them of the titles, they will be literally like the flies on the malls. Now that I'm done with the agenda, I'm going to move on to the next stage of my video, and that is the war. The war between the Windsors can't get any more crazier than this. Meghan and Harry, the two miscreants, are using the very title Sussex bestowed on them by the late Queen to attack the Queen and then now King Charles, and as before, the royal family. We all know about the Sussex Squad. They have their own podcast called the Sussex Set. You can find them on Spotify. For example, the installment So What Now by Sussex Set, released on 27th September, and you know what I mean. I only have time to listen to one of that horrible podcasts. There are a stream of them. Clearly, calling the royal family god-awful family and calling the king by his first name is the idea of Meghan and Harry. If you listen, they even cursed the royal family, and they are also accusing them of not wanting to protect Meghan and Harry. Such venom. Never be conned by Meghan and Harry. Knowing how controlling Meghan is, she must have approved the Sussex Set's script in its entirety. Instead of attacking the family herself, she's using her proxies, the Sussex Squad, to go after the royal family. So Meghan is now using her army, okay, name it after the title given to her, Sussex, go after the royal family. Meghan and Harry are ruthless and unhinged. There's no room for sentimentality here. Stripping them of their title means cutting off all ties with them. This will completely unsettle them. The evildoer, horror Harry and Meghan liar, are weaponizing the title to make mega millions and to continue attacking the royal family. Meghan and Harry are clearly enemies, and in war, there's no place for sentimentality. I've come to the end of the video. Please remember to press the like and subscription buttons. Take care and stay safe. Goodbye for now.